If thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. Not tomorrow, not when you have solved your questions. Now, these are not riddles for clever minds, they are living bread for hungry hearts. Jesus did not toy with language. He revealed a law of spirit that operates in this instant. If thine eye be single, if your seeing is undivided, if your attention is gathered into God and not scattered among appearances, then your whole experience is suffused with light. This is promise, not puzzle, law, not legend, God the only power. Hear it until it speaks itself in you. God the only power of the universe. Only power. Not one among many. Not a distant sovereign to be persuaded. The presence that is, I am. I in the midst of you am mighty. Mighty where? In the midst. Closer than breathing. Nearer than hands and feet. I am the Lord, and there is none else. When we speak of the single eye, we are not pointing to a hidden organ or a secret chamber in the head. We are pointing to the moment you stop judging by the sight of the eyes and the hearing of the ears, and you rest in God. You become a beholder. You yield the gavel and stand in the light. Behold, rest. Let I do the seeing. Now, we are not gathered for speculation. We have not come to build theories or argue diagrams. We will be still and we will see. Be still and know that I am God. This hour is practice, because only practice opens the inner door by which the imprisoned splendor escapes, and you are safe in this. I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee. Say it under your breath, not as poetry, but as fact. Never leave nor forsake. The eye becomes single as you allow this to be true without adding to it or subtracting from it. No plea, no plan, silence that listens. Well, may I then tell God of my need? No. Your Father knoweth what things ye have need of before ye ask. The single eye does not push, does not fear, does not calculate outcomes. It beholds the one, and by beholding the one, it refuses to lend reality to the many claims that clamor for judgment. Take no thought for your life. Take no thought for results. Rest. Could you, just for a breath, whisper, I, not I, the anxious personality, I, the life of you. Before Abraham was, I am. Let that I be the I. Let that I be the light. God, God, God. As we proceed, we shall not strain. We shall not fix. We shall sit in quietness and confidence and discover that the light does the seeing. For the promise stands, and it stands now. If thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. Keep thine heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life, and the heart at rest is the eye made single. Fear not, it is I. Many have asked, and perhaps you have wondered, is this single eye the pineal? Is there a switch, a center, a hidden lamp behind the brow? We bless the curiosity that looks into God's marvelous workmanship. The body is fearfully and wonderfully made. But now, listen, we do not build doctrine upon glands. We do not look to a bit of flesh to confer the life of spirit. We do not climb to heaven on a ladder of anatomy. The single eye is not where a gland sits. The single eye is where consciousness rests. Scripture does not say, thou wilt keep him in perfect peace whose pineal is activated. No, hear the word, thou wilt keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on thee. Mind stayed. Attention gathered. Beholding fixed. That is the eye. In Hebrew thought, the eye is the lamp because it is the direction of our inner gaze, the posture of our seeing, the place from which we behold. And our master added, he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. Do you see? He turns us from mechanism to presence, from parts to the one. Well then, is there harm in learning the body? None at all. But there is harm in confusing effect with cause, in seeking light in a bulb when the electricity is God. God, the only power, only power. If you polish the lamp and still sit in judgment, you are in darkness. If you rest your awareness in God, 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 you are in light, whether the lamp be brass or clay. The single eye is your consent to behold without condemning, your willingness to let I within you do the seeing. I had a dear student, bright and earnest, who came to me with diagrams and blue lights and spoke of decalcifying and frequencies. I smiled and said, "It may interest your mind, but will it still your heart? Let us cast the master instead. Be still. Say within, speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. Then be a listener." In 3 breaths the trembling left her hands. No switch was flipped save this. Attention moved from mechanics to Messiah, from trying to trusting, from manipulation to meditation. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee. We will not add to Jesus. We will do as he said. Keep thine eyes single. How? Withdraw the judging glance, withhold the restless measuring. Let the mind be stayed, not scattered on the eye that is in the midst of you, mighty. Stay it in a sentence, then stay it in silence. I in the midst of me doeth the seeing. I in the midst of me is the light of my world. Speak it once, twice, and then listen. Take no thought for glands, for currents, for signs. Take no thought for your life. Let the inner beholding rest in God, and the body, all of it, will be full of light because the eye, the attention, the beholding, the consciousness is single. Closer than breathing, nearer than hands and feet, the light does the seeing. Fear not. It is I. Now we come to the heart of the matter. And let us take it not as theory, but as the unveiling of your own self. Hear the word, "Thus saith the Lord that made thee, and formed thee from the womb. Fear not, I will help thee." Before any thought you have ever thought, before any face you have ever seen, the I that made thee was and is. Before Abraham was, I am. Not was, I am. That I is not afar off. It is the very seer behind these eyes. It is the living light that illumines whatever you behold. The single eye is nothing less than this. The human me steps aside, and the indwelling I am takes its rightful place as the beholder. Who is the one that judges and frets and measures? That is the me with its history and its hopes. Who is the one that silently knows, that witnesses without trembling, that loves without bargaining? That is I. I am that I am. When Jesus said, "I can of mine own self do nothing. The Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the works." He was teaching identity, not theology. He pointed to the seer behind the eyes, the hearing behind the ears, the life behind the breath. Single-eyed seeing begins there in identity, not in effort, in yielding, not in straining. Now let us anchor this softly. Say within, barely moving the lips if at all, I in the midst of me am mighty. Again, gentler now, as if the words were being spoken through you, I in the midst of me am mighty. And once more, let the sentence speak itself without your help, as a tide rises without a hand to lift it. I in the midst of me am mighty. Then listen. Speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. Do not add, do not decorate, just a listening attitude. God, God, God. This I never leaves. Do you hear? Never. I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. Lo, I am with you always, closer than breathing, nearer than hands and feet. The eye that formed thee remains the life of thee, the wisdom of thee, the light of thy body. Therefore fear not the coming or going of thoughts, the bright day or the shadowed hour. The I in the midst of you is the one power, the one presence, the one law of your being. It does the seeing. It maintains its own creation by grace, not by your vigilance. So we are not trying to improve a me. We are consenting to be the I. We are not grooming a better judge. We are relinquishing judgment into beholding. We are not seeking a new set of eyes. We are remembering the I that is the I am. Well then, what is our part? Be still and know. Take no thought. Yield the seat of vision to the one who already sees, and you will discover a strange and holy ease, decisions arriving like morning light, strength renewing without fanfare, love flowing without calculation. For when the me is quiet, the eye shines, and when the eye shines, the whole body is full of light. Keep thine eye single by keeping thy identity true. Not I, little and anxious, but I am infinite and present, and the light does the seeing. Now, having found the seer behind the eyes, let us speak plainly of what so often frightens the heart: appearance. In this work, we use that word exactly: appearance, claim, suggestion, temptation in human thought, not substance in God, not power, not law, appearance. God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. If it is not good, it is not God, and if it is not God, it is not reality. It is appearance pressing for your agreement, begging to be judged and thus confirmed. But thou art of purer eyes than to behold evil. Holiness does not stoop to certify a lie. Holiness beholds God. You know the story, and some of you have lived it. At dusk a shape by the path, and the heart leaps, snake, breath tightens, mind races. Then a lamp is lifted, and there on the ground is nothing but a coiled rope. Tell me, what became of the snake? Where did the terror go? It was never in the rope. It was in the belief. When the light was turned on, we did not wrestle the snake. We did not charm it or drive it out. We beheld, and in beholding, the claim dissolved into the harmless fact. The single eye is this lifting of the lamp within. God, the only power, only power. And then there is our merry pink elephant. A man, 3 drinks in, beholds a fine rosy beast dancing on the mantel. He calls his neighbor to witness, but the sober neighbor smiles. His eye is single. When the house lights brighten and the air clears, no hunt, no capture, no struggle follows. There is no elephant to slay. The appearance had a claimant only in a clouded gaze. So it is with fear, sin, disease, death names for a mist that vanishes before the sun. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. Righteous judgment is holy seeing, beholding God, where sense testimony insists on another story. Now do not mistake me. Righteous judgment is not a mental counterattack. It is not repeating words at a problem until the problem yields. It is the refusal to lend your witness to unreality. It is the quiet turn toward the I that is in the midst of you, mighty, and the consent to let I behold itself. Say within, softly, if the scene before you shouts, "This is terrible," say, "Only an appearance. God, God, God." Then listen. Speak, Lord. Thy servant heareth. We are not trying to make a rope out of a snake. We are discovering the rope that already is. We are not purging elephants. We are letting the lights come up. As you practice this, something gentle occurs. The fear loses its claimant. The mind that was eager to judge finds it has no case. And without fanfare, The scene arranges itself according to grace, because the eye has done the seeing. Keep thine eye single. Be a beholder. Stand in the light and the unreal. Having no witness, cannot stand at all. Now, let us look beneath the dissolving of snakes and pink elephants to the law behind it, or better, the grace beyond law. There is mental law, cause and effect, set up by thinking and suggestion, the human habit of calculating, manipulating, forcing the result by better ideas, and then there is grace, the self-acting presence that requires no lever, no bargain, no mental push, not by might nor by power, but by my Spirit, saith the Lord. In grace, the light does not argue with the darkness. It simply is, and because it is, the darkness is not. A state of grace banishes, annihilates, wipes out physical law, mental law, law of cause and effect, as fog is wiped out by the morning sun without a sermon to the fog. God, the only power. The Master's command, take no thought for your life, is the doorway out of manipulation into reliance. When the eye is single, attention rests. And in that resting, the divine order, already present, comes to view. You are not setting a chain of causes in motion. You are ceasing to obstruct the already flowing river. He performeth that which is given me to do. Hear that. He performeth. It is God which worketh in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure. When you stop judging and begin beholding, you step aside, and the presence that dwelleth in you doeth the works quietly, efficiently, without your anxious help. Then appointments rearrange, conversations soften, tissues quicken, and no one can boast, for it was not your cleverness, it was grace. Why does this work? Because when there is one, there is no second cause to fight. I am the Lord, and there is none else. To oppose a condition is to grant it a law, a cause, a life of its own. To behold God is to withdraw all such charter. A shadow seems to lie across the path. If you wrestle it, you make a drama. If you turn and let the sun reach it, you find there is nothing to remove. So we do not treat a problem. We do not push on effects. We behold the cause, the eye that is presence, and effects align without strain. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. The battle is not yours, but God's. Now, could you just now let the words rest you? God, the only power. Only power. Say it once and let it echo. I, in the midst of me, am mighty. Then, hush, be still and know. No asking, no mapping of outcomes. The single eye is not technique. It is alignment. It is the cessation of self-will, so that grace may be grace. And grace, being what it is, goes before you to make the crooked places straight, opens out a way for the imprisoned splendor to escape, and performs that which is appointed without strain, without show, with holy inevitability. Keep thine eye single, and watch how effort gives way to ease, how calculation yields to quiet rightness, how life unburdened of your managing begins to live itself through you. Now we take this from light as principle to light as practice. Simple. 2 parts. First, we speak truth, not to inform God, but to center the heart. Second, we listen holy stillness, without bargaining, without strain. That is all. Beholding and listening. Say it with me inwardly as a rhythm for life. Behold, then listen. Yes, part 1. Choose a quiet place. Sit upright, alert, unforced. 10 to 15 minutes is sufficient. Once a day, if that is what you can offer. Twice, if grace invites. Close the outer eyes and turn within gently. Now, we are not bringing in our troubles. We leave the problem outside. We drop the patient and the condition. We become only a beholder. Then, with the lightest touch, we speak truth to gather attention. God, God. God, not loudly, as breath. God, the only power. Only power. I, in the midst of me, am mighty. Be still and know that I am God. Speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. Let these not be arguments, but doorways. A sentence or two, not many. We are not pushing, we are pointing. We are setting the lamp to face the sun. Now, consent to part two. Release words. Rest the tongue of thought. Slip into a listening attitude as if a friend you trust is about to speak, and the very air is tender with their presence. No imaging, no forcing of silence, no holding your breath. Let silence speak itself. Take no thought for your life. Take no thought for results, just awareness, open, present, still, closer than breathing, nearer than hands and feet. The eye that formed thee is beholding through you. If thoughts arrive, do not wrestle. Smile inwardly and let one word return you, God. Then again, listen. Speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. Keep the boundary clear. Do not fetch the condition into the sanctuary. Do not ask, how is my back? How is my bank? Drop the patient and the condition. We are not engineers of outcomes. We are witnesses of presence. In this beholding, grace performs its own works. It is God which worketh in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure. Our office is quiet consent. When the minutes close, do not spring up as if a task were done. Offer thanks without commerce, not please grant, but thank thee, Father, for thy presence. Thank thee that thou art, that is all. Then rise gently and go about your affairs without peeking, without testing for signs. Never look for results. Abide. Repeat tomorrow and the next day, once or twice a day, until you find that you are practiced by the practice that anywhere, mid-conversation or mid-street, the inner ear inclines, the eye is single, and the light does the seeing. I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee. Trust that. Sit, behold, listen, and let the imprisoned splendor find its way. Now, just for this breath, whisper I, not as the little person naming itself, but as the living word that formed thee. Let the syllable open, widen into presence, as a door swings without creak upon its hinges. I. Again, gentler I. One more time, and then let it speak itself. I in the midst of me am mighty. Softly now, almost as a lullaby to the heart, God the only power, only power. Be still and know that I am God. And now, hush, let the words sit like warm stones along the riverbank, and let the river move of its own accord. For a minute we will do nothing but behold. Attention resting, breath unforced, mind stayed on thee, no pictures to paint, no bargains to strike, just a listening attitude. Speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. If a thought of the world taps at the window, we smile and let one word return us, God. Then listen again, God. Then listen. Take no thought for your life. Take no thought for results. Closer than breathing, nearer than hands and feet, the seer within is doing the seeing through you. We are not managing. We are consenting. In quietness and in confidence is our strength. Now, as you rest in this holy ease, you may notice a small sign, not demanded but given. Perhaps a little click, like a locked latch, releasing within, or the sense that a weight you didn't know you were carrying has fallen off the shoulders, or a lightness settling into the chest as morning mist lifts from the field. It may be no more than simple quiet, a hush that asks for nothing and needs no proof. This is the still small voice, not syllables in the ear, but a rightness in the heart that says, I am here. My peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth. Let that peace be what it is. Do not stir the waters to see if they will clear. Letting alone is faith. If tears come, let them. If nothing comes, let that be holy too. We do not measure God with sensations. We receive God, God, God. The only power stands still and see the salvation of the Lord. And in this stillness, see without images the fact, I in the midst of me am mighty. The Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the works. We sit, we behold, we listen. Now we return as we entered, gently. Open the eyes or keep them closed a moment longer, but feel this assurance and travel before you into the next step. I will go before thee and make the crooked places straight. Not your planning, but presence ordering its own. Thank thee, Father, that thou art. That is all. We rise without peeking, without testing. The taste of stillness is enough, for it carries an inner rightness that needs no proof. Lo, I am with you always. Keep thine eye single as you go, and let the light do the seeing. Now, as you go, the road will offer you the same old bait on a finer hook. The first is judging. A scene flares, a word stings, a symptom taps at the door, and the habit rises to weigh, to fix, to pronounce a verdict. In that moment, the problem is asking for your signature. Decline it with gentle indifference. Refuse the bait. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. Righteous judgment is not scolding the appearance, it is beholding God. Say within, softly, only an appearance, God. God, God, then listen. Be a beholder. The instant you judge, you reactivate the play. The instant you behold, you remove its audience. And without an audience, the show must close. Next, forcing. Some will try to make silence by will, to clamp down on thought as if God were a prize to be gripped. That very gripping is the noise. Relax into given grace. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength. Confidence means this: I do not hold God, God holds me. Be seated within. Breathe without managing the breath. Whisper once, I in the midst of me am mighty, and then let the words fall away. Speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. The river runs without your push. And then the bright snare of results. Oh, how we like timetables, proofs, certificates to frame on the wall of consciousness. Chasing signs blocks realization as surely as chasing your reflection muddies the water. Take no thought for your life. Never look for results. When you peak, you break the gaze. Let grace be grace. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Not measure it, see it. And you will know it not by fireworks, but by rightness, the path unforced, the word given, the peace that needs no trumpet. My peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth. Beware also the altar of technique. Tools are servants, presence is Lord. Do not worship method or gland. Do not imagine that the posture, the hour, the mantra, the pineal are your saviors. If you must polish the lamp, polish, but remember the light is God. God, the only power. Only power. The practice exists to bring you to the threshold of silence. Do not embrace the threshold and miss the room. He performeth that which is given me to do. He, not technique, the Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the works. And when you are disturbed, and you will be, for a moment pause. Do not run your history. Do not phone your fears. Be still and know. Reset the single gaze. Right there on the street, in the shop, at the sink. Withdraw an inch within and say, Father, then listen, God, 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 the only power. Let the shoulders drop as if someone you trust took the weight. feel the inner click if it is given, or simply the hush. I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee. Lo, I am with you alway. The battle is not yours, but God's. Yield your managing. Abide as a beholder. Keep thine eye single, and the light closer than breathing, nearer than hands and feet does the seeing, and quietly makes the crooked places straight. Now we take this out of the chair and into the day. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths, not in some of thy ways, in all. The sink, the street, the clinic, the bank, the desk. The same single eye that found hush in the quiet room now opens in the marketplace, and the light does the seeing where feet and hands are busy. Apply it everywhere. Behold, then listen. God, the only power, health first, for the body clamors and bids for your judgment. Do not rehearse symptoms as if they were psalm. Drop the patient and the condition. Become only a beholder. Whisper once, I in the midst of me am mighty. Then I am the Lord that healeth thee. Be still and consent to life being life unalarmed, self-governing, present. You are not fixing tissue. You are beholding the life that is whole. To argue with a symptom is to certify it, to behold. The eye as the only life is to withdraw its charter. He sent his word and healed them. Let the word be your witness in your rest. God, 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 now supply. Withdraw reliance from persons and balances. Bless every channel and lean on none. The earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof. What Father knoweth what things ye have need of before ye ask. The eye within you is source unfailing, unmeasured by columns and ledgers. Say within, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Then listen. You will find doors where walls had seamed, right contacts without chase, ideas that carry their own provision. Do not push on effects, acknowledge cause. He performeth that which is given me to do, and what he performs, he funds. Relationships. Judge not after the sight of the eye. See the Christ of the other. Refuse to certify their appearance, story, the role, the mood, the grievance that asks your signature. Within, say, Father, show me thyself where this face appears. Then listen. Often the hard line in a countenance softens without a speech. Sometimes the word given is silence, sometimes an amends, sometimes a boundary set in peace. Whatsoever ye bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. Bind only to God by beholding only God. Let love not managing do the works, guidance. Do not move on, momentum. In all thy ways acknowledge him. Pause a breath before the call, the send, the yes. Speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. Then be still. The nudge is simple. Now, not now, wait. Turn left. Call her. Hold peace. Thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, This is the way, walk ye in it. And as you obey the small, the large is already arranged without strain, without parade. Work. The eye within me goes before me to make the crooked places straight. Enter your day rested in God, and let grace order the order. Take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour. Sit 5 minutes at your desk, not to plan, to behold. God, God, God. Then rise. You will notice priorities announce themselves. Interruptions turn to appointments of grace. Delays become protections. He doeth the works. Your excellence is his expression. Your tempo, his peace. So everywhere, keep thine eye single. A glance within God, God, God. Then listen. Refuse judgment. Withdraw reliance from externals. Behold Christ in all, and let the light, closer than breathing, nearer than hands and feet, arrange the day by grace. I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee. Walk in that and watch life live itself through you. We do not trade in fireworks. We do not hawk wonders like wares in a market. The sign of this way is rightness, unforced, timely, apt arriving as quietly as dawn. He leadeth me beside the still waters. The leading is inward and sure, not noisy, not dramatic. It is the hush that turns left when habit would turn right. It is the pause that averts harm, the word given in the needed hour without rehearsal. God, the only power, a little witness, simple and dear. Once, suitcase by the door and keys in hand, the momentum said, go, you're late. But within, a whisper, no sentence, just a restraint, wait. So I set the keys down and sat. God, 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 speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. 5 minutes, no more. Then a new nudge. Go now. On the road, blue lights and twisted metal marked the place where I would have been. Was I clever? No. The eye within me went before me to make the crooked places straight. Thine ears shall hear a word behind thee saying, this is the way, walk ye in it. The proof was not noise. It was the soft relief of being carried by a wisdom not my own. Another witness, an error, an unwise message already sent. The mind leapt to triage, explain, defend, correct. Instead, drop the condition, become only a beholder. God, God, God. He performeth that which is given me to do. 10 minutes later, a note from the recipient. Saw your first draft by mistake. Let's start fresh. I prefer this clearer version you've now sent, but I had sent nothing new. Unlabored correction appearing of itself. Whose skill? Not mine. The Father that dwelleth in me. He doeth the works. Yes. Cross the river of names and you will find the same testimony. Under the Bodhi tree, the Blessed One beheld Mara's parade, fear, desire, accusation, and saw through it. No wrestling, no sword play, just seeing. The show dissolved because the witness withdrew his assent. Snakes become ropes, pink elephants evaporate in sober light. And Browning whispers across the aisle of time, open out a way for the imprisoned splendor to escape. That is our office. When the eye is single, the splendor finds its door. When we behold, grace performs. Note the pattern, beloved. When we grasp, friction returns. Push on effects, and the gears grind. The more we manage, the more the tangle tightens. Behold, and the knot loosens itself. Take no thought, and the word for that hour is given. Strain, and you lose the tone. Rest, and the note sings itself. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Not stand still and manufacture it. See it. God, the only power, only power. So do not count miracles. Recognize rightness. Do not crown the practitioner. Hallow the present. Not unto us, O Lord, not unto us, but unto thy name give glory. How will you know? By peace that does not ask to be verified, by adjustments that arrive like natural weather, by doors that open as you reach them. He leadeth me beside the still waters. Keep thine eye single, behold then, listen. Grace confirms, ego retires. And the light, closer than breathing, nearer than hands and feet, does the seeing and, without fanfare, does the work. Consecration means this simple and radical turn. We relocate our trust. Kindly now, without scolding the heart for its habits, we acknowledge what we have leaned upon, people we love, possessions we prize, techniques we polish, even a God kept far away in a sky of our imagining. Each has had its tender use, but none is cause. I am the Lord, and there is none else. If we would live by grace, we withdraw our faith and reliance from effects and rest it in the indwelling cause, God the only power, only power. I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. Closer than breathing, nearer than hands and feet. Here again the way of it. The Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the works. We do not perform, we witness, we do not force, we behold. It is God which worketh in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure. So when a condition shouts its name, pain, lack, conflict, we do not register the case and take it to court. We drop the patient and the condition, and we hold the presence until the labels loosen and fall away of themselves. We do not make a rope out of a snake. We let the light show the rope, that is. Refuse the battle. Resist not evil. A single eye does not fight shadows on the wall. It turns on light. To swing at images is to keep the theater open. To behold the light is to empty the seats. God, the only power, only power. Say, within, when accusation rises, when panic seizes, when bills glare, when the body groans, only in appearance, Father. And then hush, speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. Be still and know. Practice in the pinch. When fear spikes, and it will for a moment, do not consult 1,000 externals. Whisper I, not the small I of personality, but the I that is God's name in you. I. Let it open a door within. Slip into the sanctuary that is always prepared. Thou art my hiding place. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. Sit there a breath or two. God, God, God. The only power. And listen. Often the spike flattens like a wave that spent itself before it struck the shore, and in that hush the next right step is simply given about people. Love them, bless them, serve them, but let none be your source. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. Let channels be free to open and close while cause remains one. About possessions, handle them lightly. Hold nothing in a white-knuckle grip. For a man's life consisteth not in the abundance of the things which he possesseth. About techniques. Use them as doorbells, not as God. Posture, breath, mantra, pineal polish if you wish. But remember, the light is God. He performeth that which is given me to do. He, not method, not gland. And about a distant God concept, retire it. Emmanuel, God with us now, within, as your very life. This is consecration. A transfer of trust from the seen to the seer, from effects to cause. Today, quietly make the exchange. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and let him direct thy path. Keep thine eye single. Be a beholder. And as you rest your weight in the eye that formed thee, you will find the crooked places straightening themselves under your feet. For I will go before thee. Fear not. I in the midst of you am mighty. Now let this become a way, not a moment, a rhythm that carries you as naturally as breath. Begin simply, once a day. If grace nudges, twice, morning and evening, 5 to 15 quiet minutes to behold and to listen. Then, one day, without strain, it asks for a third time. You find yourself seeking the chair, not as a duty, but as a drink. And when I see that smile, I know, you are lovingly hooked. Yes, hooked on peace, hooked on presence, not as a habit you hold, but as a melody that has caught your ear and will not let you go. Abide in me, and I in you. It begins in appointments. It grows into abiding. Between those sittings, learn the holy pause. Every hour, if you can, half a minute only. Wherever you are, withdraw an inch within and whisper, I. Then, softer, God, God, God. Not to fix anything, just to keep the mind stayed. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee. Let shoulders drop. Let breath unmanage itself. Listen one breath. Speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. Then return to the task. This is how the river keeps its current while you move among shores. Brief glances, steady inner gaze. Keep your boundaries gentle and firm. When you enter the sanctuary, even for 30 seconds, leave the bundle at the door. Do not fetch the patient and the condition into holy silence. We are not engineers there, we are beholders. If, after the pause, a right step is given, take it without fanfare. If nothing is given, bless the hush and move on. Pray without ceasing does not mean think without ceasing. It means abide, rested attention, ready hearing. Never look for results. Never. The peaking breaks the gaze. Let grace be grace. Not unto us, O Lord, not unto us, but unto thy name give glory. You will notice in retrospect, oh, that knot untied itself, that word arrived at the hour, that meeting softened before I spoke, and you will bow in gratitude and humility. The Lord will perfect that which concerneth me. We do not count miracles, we recognize rightness, and we give thanks. Over time, something beautiful and inevitable takes place. The practice practices you. The vine feeds the branch, and sap becomes fruit without your effort to be fruity. I live, yet not I, but Christ liveth in me. The I within you takes the helm. You discover that. It thinks its thoughts in you, speaks its word through you, orders your going out and your coming in. You rest, and works are done. The Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the works. God, the only power, only power. So make beholding a habit until beholding becomes your way of being. Morning and evening, then gladly 3, hourly pauses, half a minute of I, God, God, God. Mind stayed, heart quieted. Keep the sanctuary pure. Take no thought for results, and watch as the single eye never quite closes, not in market, not in kitchen, not in sleep. Closer than breathing, nearer than hands and feet, I in the midst of you am mighty. Abide and let life live itself through you. Beloved, it is enough. The word has been sown, the way has been shown, and the promise stands. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. Not a figure, not a distant hope, light now. Light in spirit, so the heart is quiet and undivided. Light in mind, so thought is clear and tender. Light in affairs, so your goings out and comings in are ordered without strain. Thy whole body, your whole living full of light, God the only power, only power. Hear the assurance that seals this path. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee. Lo, I am with you always. Closer than breathing, nearer than hands and feet, I in the midst of you am mighty. I go before you to make the crooked places straight. I overshadow you in the heat of day. I am thy refuge and thy fortress, thy God. In me will you trust. Let these not be lines on the page, but living presence in your breast. Say it softly and let it say itself. I in the midst of me am mighty. Yes. Now the charge, simple as breath. Begin tonight. 5 quiet minutes. Sit in your chair as one who is expected by a friend. Behold, then listen. No pile of words, no bargaining, just the gentle turning. God, 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 the only power, only power. Be still and know that I am God. Drop the patient and the condition at the door of silence. Speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. Hush, let the light do the seeing. When the minutes close, offer only gratitude. Thank thee, Father, that thou art rise without peaking and let grace be grace. Do it tomorrow and the next day, faithful and simple. And when the hour tempts you to judge, when a face frowns, a body complains, a ledger scolds, pause. Do not sign the appearance. Within, say, only an appearance, Father. Then one breath, be still and know, reset the single gaze. God, 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 the only power, a soft consent, a listening attitude, and the storm forgets its script because you have not agreed to be its audience. Judge not the scene, behold the eye, and you will find the word for that hour given, or a silence that does the work more perfectly than speech. So we go with praise and with peace, not by might nor by power, but by my Spirit, saith the Lord. He performeth that which is given me to do. The Lord will perfect that which concerneth me. Keep thine eye single. Rest in God. Let the light do the seeing. Walk now in the blessing already present. Fear not, for I am with thee, and watch as life without trumpet lives itself through you. Thank thee, Father, that thou art. Amen.